Welcome to Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews to unboxings and conventions, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. I'm so excited to share with you my experience at the Chiller Theater's fall show. I've been to this convention 3 times in a row, the most out of any other. So let's get into the trip. So the main reason I wanted to go to this convention was to meet none other than Huey Lewis. In recent years, I know he's had issues with losing his hearing, and so he hasn't been able to perform. And so this was just such a treat to see him and interact with his fans. And I was just so excited that I had the chance to meet him. Honestly, with the loss of Ace Frehley this last week, you gotta meet your heroes while you can, because you never know when their time will come, unfortunately. So yeah, so basically I got to the event an hour early at 9 a.m. If you bought your tickets VIP, you could get in at 9 a.m. But I just bought the regular general admission tickets at 10 a.m. that lets you in at 10 a.m. And this is actually the first time I bought the physical tickets. And they send it to you in the mail. Unfortunately, you have to hand in your ticket. I wish I was able to keep it afterwards, but so I got in line about an hour early and basically just waited for the doors to open. What was really funny was when the doors opened at 10 a.m., I literally went from being one of the first people on the outside, and then I opened the door, and the person that was waiting, I was like, "Who are you waiting for?" And he's like, "Huey Lewis." And I go, "Oh, cool." So the door like closed behind me, and it was literally I got inside and didn't get far. Is basically what I'm trying to say. So the line was out the door. But long story short, he arrived at 10:20. I guess he was staying at a different hotel, because actually we caught him hopping out of his car and walking in through the front door. I'm surprised they didn't have any backdoor entrance or anything, or he didn't stay at the at this specific hotel. But yeah, so we saw him walking in at around 10:20, and we were very nervous that his line was going to take a long time. Luckily, it didn't though. He's in the biggest section, and his line stretched from the front of the ballroom, so to speak, all the way to the back. And then they actually cut it off, so I guess it wouldn't be like a fire hazard and stuff like that. And so it went from the wall all the way to out the door. Once the general admission came in at 10 a.m., the line kept going out the door, out the door. But while I was in line, it was really cool seeing people with Back to the Future posters. Obviously, a lot of people had albums for him to sign, like sports and stuff like that. But I ran into someone who was actually right in front of me, and he had a Back to the Future poster who he was going to have the rest of the cast that was there today sign. But he had like Christopher Lloyd and all these awesome people. Since he arrived at 10:20, it only took me about 40 minutes to get to him, to meet him. And so at like 11 o'clock, I get up to the table. Unfortunately, there wasn't. I was hoping there would be like album artwork. So again, like sports or Four, or one of the albums, to a picture of the album cover to get signed. But he had a couple things Back to the Future. He had a couple black and white photos. I think he had a photo with like Madonna too, which of course, I mean, she's obviously one of the best in the 80s. And so yeah, so I went and picked a. I actually really liked this picture with the yellow. It just made it pop. He's got the red outfit. It just screams 80s. And then I had his handler, so to speak, was like, "Why don't you try the blue on there? It'll definitely pop." And I was like, "Absolutely, that looks great." So I'm just gonna give a quick show of his autograph, which is very clean. And but long story short, his price was $120 for a selfie or an autograph. No combo. So I didn't know that going in. I knew it was going to be expensive, and there were a couple of rumors back and forth about how expensive it would be. But yeah, that was really expensive. There's no way I was going to do both, and for some reason I couldn't stomach spending $120 and having them take a picture from my phone, and he was sitting down, and like, all these things. I was just like, I can't do it. So I had to pick one or the other. I went with an autograph. But I took a couple pictures of him sneakily while I was in line. He was very nice, was definitely a quick experience. I just told him that my favorite song of his is "Working for a Living," and I often play it when. Actually, I played it back and forth when I used to work double shifts between two jobs, and it's such a great song because it's so, for lack of a better term, like blue collar. It's just it's not glamorizing anything. It's just, how he spends his rent when you listen to the song. His paycheck's already spent, and I don't know. So I just really, really love that song. All right. So next up, I was on the fence about meeting a couple different people from the American Pie cast. They did have Tara Reid, Thomas Ian Nichols, and the Shermanator. So for me, I was kind of between Tara and Thomas Ian Nichols, and I kind of wanted Thomas more because he was also in Rookie of the Year, A Kid in King Arthur's Court, which I used to have the VHS tape as a kid. And even though it's a bad movie, Halloween Resurrections, so he's canon in the Halloween universe. But his line was really long, and so real quick, last minute, I just decided to meet Tara Reid. American Pie is personally my favorite raunchy comedy. You got Blink 182 in there, great soundtrack, super, just absolutely hilarious film. And so I wanted to meet somebody from it. All the ladies in the film were, childhood crushes, Mina and obviously Tara Reid, Shannon Elizabeth. And so I was hesitant what picture I was going to choose. And but when they had the classic poster, I was like, I got to do this. So obviously you got Tara Reid on the bottom right there. And so it was $60 for an autograph and $100 for a combo. And so I settled just for the autograph. I didn't want to go too overboard. And since I wasn't, I don't know, fully sold on the idea or something, I just kind of decided to just get that autograph. Nice experience. It was very quick. I often get tripped up on my words. I don't really know what to say. And just, it's nice to meet you. I'm sure I said something along the lines of, I'm sure you've heard this all the time, but I was watching that film way too young. And she was like, yeah. And she's like, but it's a funny film, right? And I was like, yeah, it's one of the best. And so you got her signature right here to Adam and Tara with a little heart. All right, so I am here at Chiller Theater in the Hilton Parsippany I met it with Brian, bdubs Movie Hub.
What is going on?
So we did a couple, we did a 90s favorite movies live stream.
Yep.
We did another, what was the last one we just did?
We
It was
just
like
did
a Halloween
We
live.
did like a Halloween favorite candy, favorite
Yes.
fall themed movies.
Yep, with Joel from Darkroom Reviews, which I'll link, and Dave as well.
Dave from Collector Movie Man. Yep.
And we finally got to meet in person.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I think you were here last year, and I missed you.
I was here last year. I missed you. I went up with the Marshalls.
Oh yeah, and I met them too.
I don't know if they're here today.
I don't know if they're here today either, but I got him a little gift real quick. So in that 90s video, we were going through VHS tapes and stuff like that.
Yes.
So what was really funny is we had this back and forth conversation on Instagram. Dave showed off the 90s, what did he show off?
Titanic?
The Titanic 4K.
Yep.
I showed off my double box VHS of Titanic, and so we kind of just went back and forth. Brian sent me a DM about, there was a store that got like...
It was two Titanics or two Bravehearts. I forget which one it was.
I think it was Titanic, and then you had found, I think you posted in your video.
I found Braveheart in my parents' basement in a bin, so I confiscated that because I needed that.
Because I think someone in the chat was saying like, oh, somebody's not going to pull the double Braveheart VHS or something like that. So long story,
I found it.
And he found it. So long story short, without further ado, I don't know if he has this. I went to a local thrifting store, and one of his videos in the top 10 90s, I got for him on VHS. So let me grab this real quick. He probably has this, but we're going to grab it real quick. None other than Independence Day. Do you have this?
I don't.
You don't?
I mean, I did. I had it in the 90s.
You had it in the 90s?
Thank you.
Is this like your 9th or 10th? It was lower on the list.
I don't remember. It was not. It was toward the bottom of the list.
Okay, because I remember you had like Braveheart as well. Dave had Braveheart. So what's really cool about this? It's a little beat up. It's nothing too cool. But what's awesome about it is character. So at the bottom of it, it says something. Look at this minty sticker.
Oh shit! Palmer Video.
It says Palmer Video. So I did a little digging, and first of all, the sticker looks great. And there was a video store in, I don't know, the 90s, the 80s, something like that. But it's in our area. It's in like Clifton and something around here.
I don't think I've ever heard of Palmer Video.
But now you can deep dive and show it on there. And of course, the video is, if you pop it out of the of the sleeve. Listen, we got the whole, remember the Be Kind Rewind, we've got the hot rental, and it looks great. I mean,
It's awesome.
the outer side doesn't look the best. You know,
That's
it's got
all
a little
right.
love, but I mean, honestly, this looks
fantastic.
this thing looks great. So
great shape.
yeah, so Brian is an amazing YouTuber. His knowledge is insane. I look forward to doing more live streams with him. So
This
yeah.
was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to meet you in person.
No,
I know we've done the
absolutely.
live streams, but
So,
this is great. So
yeah,
thank you so much for this.
All right, guys. All right, I'm here with Todd, aka the Horror Nerd on YouTube. He does some great content. You met like Lou Temple,
Oh my God, Lou
Rob
Temple,
Zombie, not Rob Zombie. I'm sorry, Tyler Main.
Tyler Main at the last one. Yeah, I have met Rob Zombie, so which was pretty cool. Yeah, we're at Chiller today. It's good to meet up with this guy. I see him at every show.
Yeah, so just hanging out and ran into him and had to say hello, and just please go follow his channel, subscribe, all that stuff. He puts amazing convention content out there. So
thanks,
awesome
man,
seeing
for the
another
kind
fellow,
words.
yeah, seeing another fellow
Appreciate it.
YouTuber. So all right, thanks guys.
All right, peace.
So I love exploring the vendor area of conventions, and at Chiller they have this massive ballroom that's filled of different tables and booths, and there's one table actually caught my eye, and it is called, let me show you the business card right here, Little Replicants. And basically what it is, they have an Etsy store, they have a Facebook, and I'm trying to remember while I flip over the front, I believe there's like Chop Tops on there, and you got Halloween 4, Jamie, and I think Amanda from Saw, Ash from Evil Dead and stuff like that, Reagan. So she's got all these horror characters, which are just super cool. And if you know me, I love claymation, stop motion animation, stuff like that. Obviously, Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, Frankenweenie. I got all those films right here behind me. And so she had a varying different types of sizes of, bigger characters and smaller characters and stuff like that. But for me, the main thing that I always look for when I go to these conventions are my 3 favorite characters, which are Batman, Michael Myers, and Darth Vader. So basically, I find so many things that are super cool that I wish I had the space and the money and the time for and all that stuff. But that's basically what I hone in on when I go to these events. So basically, after meeting Tara Reid, I ran out of money. So I'm going with a set amount of money, and once you spend it, you're done. You can't, you can't go to the ATM or put money on your credit card or do whatever it is, so you can budget and save money. And basically there was a big, I didn't know if I showed it off on the card, but there was a bigger version of Michael Myers, and he was holding like an ice cream cone, which was really awesome. And she also had a smaller version of Batgirl. And it actually looked really awesome, really detailed and stuff like that, obviously with the cape and the cowl on top of her head and everything. So it actually gave me a really good idea to, I'm going to send this to her. I'm going to email this to her with my personal idea, because she does custom orders as well. Of Batman, Adam West Batman from the 1966 film, where he's running around and he's got the bomb in his hand, and he's, some days you can't get rid of a bomb. So hopefully she can make that, because she does custom orders. She was super nice. I believe her name was Deanna. I hopefully am getting that right, and I would love to purchase from her. And like I said, I'm going to send her an email. And yeah, I love supporting vendors. This is Alan Howarth, a composer for many Carpenter films like They Live, The Thing, Halloween 2 through 6, and more. 94-year-old James Tolkien, who's been in Top Gun, the Amityville Horror, and the Back to the Future trilogy. And I show off briefly Michael Clasteran, Mark McClure, and that is Dave Davies from the Kinks. And we also have a female wrestler who I'm not sure who it is. Bob Gunton, the Warden in the Shawshank Redemption. A bunch of the cast of Night of the Living Dead, which is amazing that we still have them around, fortunately, because the film came out in 1968, so definitely get them while you can. And you're about to see Galen Ross from Dawn of the Dead 78. That's Jackie Childs from Seinfeld and Vito Spatafor from The Sopranos. That is Goldie Wilson's van from Back to the Future 1 and 2, and he has definitely got my vote. The favorite vehicle that I saw today was the DeLorean from the Back to the Future trilogy, which was so cool to see in person with that hoverboard there as well. We've got some proton packs, and the Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters, which I believe is like a Cadillac or something. That car is huge to see in person. And of course, the station wagon from National Lampoon's Vacation. I believe it was signed by Chevy Chase on the side, but it did not do any jumps today. This vendor had some really nice artwork that I decided to show off. Of course, you can see that black light design there. You got some Kiss stuff. You got some, I believe, Vampira, something that says Cat Fight. You got your prices, and it just reminded me of like Rob Zombie. Oh, that Vampire one was awesome. It just reminded me of like Rob Zombie's sort of artwork. And speaking of Rob Zombie, right here, you're going to see his 2007 Halloween poster. Next up, we're going to see another vendor who's got some cool designs from, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Some of them are just, standard signs, but at the top you can see there, those clocks are really cool with Michael and everything. The Hellraiser one really popped. Sleepy Hollow, more Killer Clowns. Gonna move a little bit over, and something I've never seen before at a horror convention, which is video games, which I was a massive gamer in middle school and high school, and of course the Xbox 360 is one of my favorite consoles alongside of the GameCube. Gears of War 2, man, such an amazing game and trilogy. Don't know why it's in a Kinect purple case, but what are you gonna do? And Modern Warfare 2, one of the greatest games of all time. This guy's booth was cool as well. It was called Shadow Pop. And as you can see there, there's some Funko Pops, there's some Legos, and he creates these cardboard displays so you can obviously display your figures. And I thought it worked really well, and he was showing off to this customer. And then this might be Synapse's booth. So we do have some films here. I don't know if I have any films from Synapse, to be honest with you. I try not to dive deep into the strange and unusual. Don't watch Cruel Jaws. Just don't do it. You're not missing anything, though. And so again, just showing a couple more films. Not too familiar. Something says Footprints. Something says something Vampire. Wax Mask, but I zoom in right here on Christopher Lee because you have to. He's the best. And posters. I love when they pull out posters from the artists that are here today. So, of course, you got American Pie. I'm going to show off an awesome Night of the Living Dead poster in a second. You got X2. You got Christmas Vacation 2. Vegas Vacation, Kingpin. I loved the Sean Connery poster right there that I zoom in on. Original Tron, The Howling, Bruce Lee, Conan the Barbarian, Nightbreed, Die Harder. What else? Toy Soldiers. There's that Night of the Living Dead, which might be a French poster. Tenebrae, Lost in Space, and I zoom in on RoboCop. If you also went to Chiller this past weekend, who did you meet? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thanks so much for everything, and go to a convention today.